All right, good morning, traders. Today is July 26, 2024. My name is John Carrigan. I moderate the BYOB trading room. I want to thank you all for being here early this morning. Thank you, everybody in digital land. Thank you, everybody here in the room. My SPY pivot this morning remains at 543.76. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. IWM, Diamond Dow remain in uptrends, while SPY, FNGU, and QQQ are all in downtrends. SPY, QQQ, and FNGU made lower highs, lower lows, closing under the bearish traps under the 17 EMAs. SPY closed with a 2-hour downtrend and a 10-minute downtrend under the all-time high anchored VWAP. Both Diamond Dow and IWM made higher highs and higher lows. IWM closed above the bullish trap over the 17 EMA, while Diamond Dow closed below a bearish trap under the 17 EMA. Silver starts a new downtrend while gold remains in an uptrend. Both made lower highs and lower lows, closing underneath bearish traps underneath the 17 EMAs. UNG still in a downtrend, made a lower low and a lower high, closing under a bearish trap under the 17 EMA. USO still in a downtrend, made an outside day, closing inside a bearish trap under the 17 EMA. US dollar index still in bear flag pattern, still in a downtrend, closed near the 104.33 area, again continuing the bear flag. Hey, good morning, Marley. Let's go ahead and take a look at some charts. First chart let's take a look at is SPY. Here's our daily candle. There's our all-time high. Okay, we made probably a $20 round trip yesterday, coming down all the way up and then all the way back down. That was a $20 ride. Not in one direction, though. It was up and then all the way back. So there's SPY. At the end of the day, they failed to print a lower low. So that makes it kind of a double bottom. And therefore, we got this bounce right back at the pivot line right now at 543.76. On the 2-hour chart, we still have 2-hour chart right here. See, we left the day, we closed out the day with a 2-hour downtrend. And on the 10-minute chart, in the pre-market, we got a 10-minute uptrend, actually a 15-minute uptrend. Right now, we closed the day with a huge red candle, possible exhaustion move coming right into the close with a 10-minute downtrend. So they're kind of undoing all of that right now. I see currently a possible, look like a wedge playing out. We do have a double bottom and a head and shoulders pattern. This being the head, left shoulder, right shoulder, possibly. All right, possibly. But I'm more inclined to believe that we're probably going to have a wedge play out, and that wedge might look something like this right along through here. So we'll see what happens. If they break over the head, they can always come back up to this area right here. It's about 549, 550 area. And then, of course, we got a huge open. We don't have a huge open gap, but there is an open gap up here to be filled if they do get up over that. That would be a long haul, being since we started here at 537, right, at the close yesterday. And you can see we're already up at 543. 547 here would make it $10 move. All the way back up to here would make it a $12 move from the close of yesterday. That's a huge move, $12 move. But it's possible, that's 2 ATRs, all right? So that's $7 and $7. Add another couple two to that. That would bring us to 2 full ATRs would bring us up to probably the bottom of that consolidation right there. So we'll see what happens today. I'm kind of picturing a wedge to play out. As possible, they break out of this wedge. We'll see what happens. There's SPY. And then again, that wedge may not cut through the top of this head. That wedge may start right here instead and play out that way. So it's possible they break out, fail, come back down all the way down to here. We'll see what happens today. Right now, we're in bull flag formation, just like that. That's a bull flag. So it makes sense to me to play from the bottom of the flag up, having a tight stop. Okay, just in case it wants to break out. If it fails to break out, tight stop, and then I'll be looking for 10-minute downtrends coming down through here. Okay, now in the room, all right, when I trade, what I'm looking for, and I do right here, I have, I put up numbers, all right, first entry, price below 548.55. Okay, so I'm looking for a 10-minute downtrend. Now my 10-minute downtrend has to be underneath the 543 pivot. Okay, 543.76, which was our pivot yesterday. So I'm looking for a price, second entry, right there. That's I'm not sure if that's the right one. See if I can find the other one for today. I'll find it here. Just a second. All right, I'm pretty sure this is it right here. All right, let's move this out of the way. Move this out of the way. Move this out of the way. All right, we had an uptrend right there. That was our uptrend. So let's just work on the uptrend first, and then we'll drill down into the downtrend. Okay, so this is how I trade. This is how I hold your hand. I hold traders' hands and show them where I see the opportunity. Okay, now we started out, we came down here. We had a 10-minute downtrend at the beginning of the day. All right, so we left off the prior day with a 10-minute downtrend. All we needed to see was red erases green. So we had red erases green right here on the very second candle that opened up, right there. So that's red erases green. So that right there would have been an entry for the continuation of the downtrend. Remember, the downtrend's already underneath the pivot. Okay, the pivot was 543.76. All right, the 10-minute downtrend is already intact. All we need to see is red erase green. So as soon as red erases green right there, I can start a put position or hold on to my put position because it hasn't broken trend yet. All right, so I'm looking at this, and this is going to be a 542 put. I'm probably going to want a Friday option. All right, no, it's 542 is the location. I'm probably going to want a Friday option, and I like to take sometimes out of the money puts. Sometimes I like to take in the money puts. If I expect it to go down much further, I like to take in the money puts. If I expect it to go further. If I don't expect it to go further, then, like going on to the next day. In other words, I'm expecting this to bounce on the day that I took this. When I expect it to bounce on the day that I take it, then I'm looking for out of the money puts. All right? If I expect it to continue on down, then I want in the money puts that will last me longer. All right, so there's SPY. So taking a 540 put, a 541 put, 539 put, and just buying the put. And as price comes down, you got this exhaustion candle. And I was telling traders right through here that, hey, this looks like an exhaustion candle. It's the biggest red candle in the move. See the move right there? in the move, get ready to tighten up stops. So we made some money on that. Then, as price came up over the pivot up here, we had green erases red, and the first green erases red. I put the pivot first entry price 544.85, which was green. Here's a red candle there, erasing that red candle right there. Okay, over the pivot, 10-minute uptrend, green erases red. That would have been the first entry right there. And we traded that up to here, okay, into more resistance. You got the bearish engulfing. You got to get out. And then again, now we're back into a downtrend underneath the pivot. Okay, so now we're looking for back again where red erases green. Red erases green right here. Red erases green right here. Okay, so 2 chances to play this to the downside and 1 chance to play this to the upside. All right, so that's how I trade. All right, now when I'm done with these puts down here, I'm probably going to be picking up Friday option calls that are in the money to play this to the upside, because I would expect this to go on much further than just today. But it didn't. It came back and did a double bottom, and now you can see they're back up here trying to break out again. So we'll see what happens here. All right. So that's how I play green erases red or red erases green. All right. And I do this every day. I set you up with the entries, and then I show you where the targets are in the room depending upon where the price action is and what we see happening for the day. So take all that off right now, and let's go back and look at QQQ. That's how I trade. Okay, so let's take this over and move this back. Let's go to QQQ. QQQ is going to look a lot like SPY. Lower high, lower low, closing underneath the bearish trap, underneath the 17 EMA. All right, QQQ, minor support is going to be right here. Let's see where we are. Let's put a line up there. QQQ hitting support. Could see a daily bounce today. We'll see what happens. That's QQQ. The QQQ is in a downtrend. Okay, why? Because they broke this high, this low right there. So they're in a downtrend. So QQQ putting in lower highs and lower lows, breaking the downtrend. They're in a downtrend. Breaking the uptrend right there. So they're in a downtrend. FNGU, same thing. They were in a downtrend a lot earlier. FNGU breaking the low right here. Breaking this low, making lower highs and lower lows. And again, lower highs and lower lows. Right there. All right. FNGU in a downtrend. SPY in a downtrend. QQQ in a downtrend. Let's go take a look at Diamond Dow. Diamond Dow still in an uptrend, okay, until they break this low or they make a higher low and then go below it. All right, so there's Diamond Dow in an uptrend. I got to tell you, that looks like probably the biggest 3-candle move to the upside. It's probably going to be a top for a while. I would expect them to consolidate on top of this support area right here, okay, for a couple weeks. That's Diamond Dow. I don't know if they recover all of this that quickly. We'll see what happens. But Diamond Dow in an uptrend, okay, making higher lows and higher highs. Still in an uptrend till they break this low right here. All right, so IWM also still in an uptrend. All right, IWM did a bull flag consolidation right through here. You can see the move up, okay, and a very extended fabric flag right there, and then comes the next rip up. All right, so IWM making higher lows and higher highs. Now it's made another higher low. We would like to see it make another higher high. We'll see what happens. They have not made it yet right now. Currently, we're showing kind of a descending wick pattern. So we'll see what happens. I would say they're probably going to need to consolidate for a few weeks up here, okay? They've already been consolidating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This would be the 8th day today up in this pattern right here. We'll see what happens. That's IWM on the daily chart. That's a bull flag. And that is in an uptrend, IWM. All right, let's take a look at our technicals. T2122, yesterday's price action. I keep my T2122 on the 15-minute chart looking for higher lows and higher highs, or lower lows and lower highs. So for T2122, all right, they did a double bottom down here. We have a bottom here. They hit it there. This is the 25th. It was yesterday. From there, we chopped up through the midpoint, held the midpoint, making a higher low, and then a little mini higher high, and another higher low, and another mini higher high in the buyer's chop zone. And then finally, getting close to noontime, we made another little higher low and found ourselves in the buy zone up here, okay, above 76. All right, we spent a couple hours up there, and then we fell out back into the buyer's chop zone, making a lower high and a lower low. All right, so looks like this morning they're popping back up, so this will make another lower low right here, and we'll see how far up they go with the next pop. All right, but right now they're showing a head and shoulders pattern, that being the left shoulder, that being the right shoulder. All right, so there's T2122. Let's take a peek at T2123. This would be yesterday's price action. A little red, whole lot of green, and a pullback, and then a lower high. So not good. Almost very, very close to prior all-time highs right there. Okay, very close to prior all-time highs. Okay, so there was an all-time high right there, and they came dangerously close. Let's see where this is, to printing a new all-time high. Yeah, you can see we touched this right there. All right, you can see we got space right in beside there. No, not as a leading indicator, just a present date and time indicator. But depending on the price action, Joe's asking if I use it as a leading indicator. I guess in a sense you could say, if I see higher lows and higher highs, kind of shows me that price action is bullish. Remember, it's just a 15-minute chart. It could change. You saw us move $10 up and $10 back yesterday. That was a wild ride. That's some wild whippy action. So we'll see what happens. But you can see right there, higher low, higher highs right there, and then came back and started making lower lows and lower highs and lower lows. So not quite a leading, just kind of showing me what's going on in the market as far as the whole NYSE. All right, so T2123, you can see still in bull flag pattern. All right, so here's a move up. All right, and then a move to the right, still over the 200 SMA. All right, still consolidating near the highs. They made an attack on the all-time high yesterday. Okay, not too bad there. All right, and then up over the 200 SMA. So the 3-bar chart's going to look pretty much the same thing, okay, because it's the same product. Again, up over the 200 SMA, which is down here, okay, and consolidating in bull flag pattern up near the highs. Again, printing in 3 more green candles right there, T2123. Now let's take a look at FNGU. Now FNGU, this measures like some of the big caps that how do I say it? They Well, they're very heavily weighted within the indexes and have a very good hold on market movement is just with these 10 stocks within inside the FNGU. They're so heavily weighted within the indexes that they tend to jerk them around. So here's FNGU, yesterday's price action. Little red, came down, made a bottom, went back up, challenged the high. Notice on the high, we failed to make a higher high. Now, if we go back to SPY, okay, we'll just take a peek at SPY. And I said this going into the middle of the day, okay, we failed to make a higher high right here. And while we were pulling back, while it was tempting to buy the pullback back to VWAP or support for another leg higher, I noticed that we failed to make a higher high. We didn't get up over the pivot, over the gap right there. So I said, it's possible this thing melts down to VWAP, maybe even down to today's open, and maybe even down to the low of day. So I didn't really picture that, but I did see that we made a lower high. So I didn't know if there was going to be a bullish pullback resulting in a higher high. And because we got a lower low, right, or lower high right here, I said it's possible we melt all the way back here. Because it was a big move right here from 537 all the way to 547. That's a $10 move inside of what, 4 hours? When it starts out like that, sometimes it looks like it's going to go to 560. Okay, when it starts out like that, just going straight up, straight up, straight up. Okay, but then we had this pullback. We failed to make a higher high over here, and of course we came all the way back to low of day. Okay, so there's SPY. And by the way, economic numbers, GDP was pretty good yesterday, so there was a lot of reason to be buying if the pullback. But first, you needed that 10-minute uptrend. And as you look through here on the 10-minute, you see we never got the 10-minute uptrend. Okay? I knew it would be a pullback, maybe to VWAP, maybe to the pivot, but we never got that 10-minute uptrend to play for a pullback bounce back to make a higher high. So back to FNGU, all right? You can see we came up here. FNGU is doing the right stuff, made a higher low here. That's interesting. Now, can they make a higher high and reattack this 200 SMA? So SPY could be moving up, back up over the pivot this morning. We'll see what happens. FNGU needs to break this high. If they choose to do that or even get up over this 200, we could be back at the highs of yesterday for SPY. So that's FNGU. All right, let's take a look at some economic numbers. Actually, we'll go look at a few sectors. All right, so start off with the first sector. Okay, first sector, we'll hit it on the daily. First sector is SMH, that's the semiconductors. Okay, still in a downtrend. Lower highs, lower lows. All right, closing underneath this pivot, underneath this valley right there. Puts it in a downtrend, so SMH, semiconductors still in a downtrend. XLK, all right, same thing. They broke this low. All right, lower high, lower low. All right, so they're still in a downtrend because they broke this low and made a lower low. Okay, so there's a downtrend in XLK. XLF, financials. Financials still in an uptrend till they break this low right here. Okay, kind of looks like a little bit like IWM or Diamond Dow. Unless, of course, they print a higher low and then make a lower low below that. Okay, right now, as long as they don't break this low, okay, they're still in an uptrend. But if they happen to make a higher low and then break below that, that would make it a downtrend. XLF, still in an uptrend, doing well. All right, just having that bull flag pullback right there. So that's XLF. Let's go to IYT. Here's transports. IYT yesterday, okay, still in an uptrend till we break this low right here. Okay, It's a big rocket ride up, almost a 90% retracement here, back into quadrant 4. Should get a bounce today. Nice green candle bouncing. I think that's today's candle. We'll see what that is. That is yesterday's candle bouncing off of the prior day. So this is yesterday's candle. All right, we've got an outside day with a higher high and a lower low closing inside the bearish trap under the 17 EMA. Still in an uptrend, IYT, okay? Transports still in an uptrend. Semiconductors downtrend. Technology downtrend. Financials uptrend. Let's take a look at XLI. Here's our industrials, all right? Industrials printing a higher low as compared to this low right here, and then also a higher high. So industrials are getting it done. They're in an uptrend, also putting in a possible higher low. I don't know, we got a wedge right here, so we'll see how this plays out. Okay, that could be a higher low, or we could have some more move down. But XLI, industrials, still in an uptrend. Okay, so financials in an uptrend, industrials are in an uptrend, transports are in an uptrend, technology and semiconductors are not at the current time. Okay, so let's take a look at a few other sectors. All right, start off with USO. We'll do some energy. All right, USO in a downtrend, making lower highs and lower lows. Okay, USO downtrend, yesterday's price action. Outside day, higher high, lower low, closing inside the bearish trap, kind of like the industrials, but under the 17 EMA. UNG also still in a downtrend. Again, price action, lower high, lower low, closing under bearish trap under the 17 EMA. And today's price action for UNG looks like it's going after the all-time low again. All right, so could be new all-time lows for UNG today. We'll see what happens. All right, so there's UNG again, lower high, lower low in a downtrend. Okay, lower highs, lower lows. So UNG in a downtrend. Silver starts a downtrend, breaking this low right here. They were holding on to it right there, and then they broke below right there. So they broke below that low there, putting them in a downtrend. Price action, lower high, lower low, as compared to this candle. And we've got closing below the bear trap and below the 17 EMA. Silver in a downtrend. Gold still hanging on to the uptrend. Okay, gold till it breaks this low right here. All right. Could be a flaky downtrend right here, breaking below this low. All right. Still in an uptrend. We'll see where it goes. All right. So yesterday's price action, lower high, lower low, closing under the bearish trap, under the 17 EMA. Still in an uptrend, but a flaky downtrend right now. So there's GLD. All right, so we did energy. Let's take a look at the economic calendar. For today, we got personal incomes and outlays at 8:30, and we got consumer sentiment at 10, a rig count at 1. All right, so we'll see what happens today with that. Max Payne isn't working today. What's going on here? No data return. Hey, let's try another one. All right, there's another one in here. Let's try that one. All right, Max Payne for July 26 is 547. Maybe we get back up to 547. That would be another $10 rip all the way back up. Put to call ratio, almost 2 puts to every call. Could have a put squeeze or a short squeeze. All right, and that's just the options that are going to expire today. All right, the 26th. Because see the 25th up there, I'm wondering why it's still there. And I'm looking, we're on the 26th. I want to make sure I got the day right. All right, so there it is. Put the call ratio 2 to 1. All right, so that's it for that. And earnings calendar for Friday right here. Okay, ICICI Bank Limited, they're still looking for the P&L. Bristol Myers, $90 billion. Colgate Palmolive, about $80 billion. And Aon, $64 billion. Again, some familiar names. Nothing that's really going to move the markets a whole lot right here. Okay, so familiar names, but nothing that's going to rock the market like a Google or a Meta or a Microsoft. Okay. Monday, McDonald's, about 181 billion there. All right, Sumitomo Financial looking for the P&L. Again, McDonald's going to be the main event for Monday. Tuesday, all right, Tuesday the main event. Okay, this is $3 trillion. Tuesday night, Microsoft reports. All right, so that's got the capability of moving the markets. Okay, Tuesday in the evening. In the morning on Tuesday, we got Procter & Gamble, about 400 billion, all right, and Merck, 318 billion. In the evening with Microsoft, 233 billion is AMD, all right. Then Pfizer's going to report 169 billion. All right, they're going to report in the morning alongside of Procter & Gamble and Merck. All right, so that's what we got there. So there's earnings calendar for Tuesday. Let's see what Wednesday's got. Meta's going to report. Wow, that's a huge number. Am I missing something? Is that a quadrillion? What is that? Okay, there's the thousands, the millions, the billions. That's $1.1 trillion for Meta. All right, they're going to be reporting on Wednesday after the close. MasterCard, $402 billion. They're going to report in the morning before the close with T-Mobile. Qualcomm's going to report with Meta in the evening, $202 billion. ARM Holdings or AM Holdings, $164 billion. They're going to report in the evening with Meta. All right, so that's it. And U.S. dollar still in a downtrend, in bear flag formation. But let me just say, we got ourselves a little bull flag inside of our big bear flag. So we'll see where it goes from here. Still in a downtrend. Need this thing to roll over and make a lower low. That would be huge. I keep seeing buyers show up. See all these tails down here? See the tails? Tails and wicks show you where buyers and sellers are. Okay, this would be a bullish engulfing. All right, so that makes a big tail there. Another tail, another tail. So not looking good for the bears. All right, but we'll see what happens. All right, traders, I'm going to take questions in the room. All right, if there's any questions, if there isn't any, I'm going to go ahead and render my video. I'm going to talk about let me see if my buddy's here. And he is from Louisville. Great. All right, so we want to take a look at SPY. Okay, from the weekly perspective, SPY is still bullish. Okay, 3-candle pullback from the weekly. On the daily, okay, we're in a downtrend, making lower highs and lower lows. On the weekly, we're still in an uptrend. Monthly, of course, still in an uptrend. So on the weekly chart, yes, uptrend still exists. Daily chart, not quite in a downtrend right now. So that's where we are just for right now. On the weekly, where would I expect price to come back? Well, they need to find minor support. And minor support's not going to be till they get right about here, 532 for the weekly chart. All right, that would be minor support right through there. Kind of the midpoint of all of this. So let's just measure that off. You can see the minor support's going to be 530. So they may have to test 530 before making a higher high. All right, so that's what's going on in SPY. All right, let me read his email. And he was also looking at coin. All right, let's take a look at coin. Okay, coin on the daily chart. Take them each one by one. Okay, coin is making higher lows and higher highs right here. Okay, there's a high. We made a higher high. So we're making higher lows and higher highs right now on coin. Coin is in a daily uptrend, just incurring a 3-day pullback right there. On the weekly chart, okay, we have a bull flag for coin. Okay, we tried to get up higher there. That was it. Tried to make a higher high and failed. Tried to make the lower low, failed to do that. So chances are this flags out on the weekly pattern right through here, and then eventually one of these two trend lines is going to dominate the future price action, and it's leaning towards a bull flag rip to the upside. All right, so this may be the upside right here on this week, so it could be coming soon. So there's coin. Coin is bullish on the weekly still, but recognize we failed to make the higher high back in May, and now we're back at it again in July. All right, so we'll see what this happens. 2 fails, 3 fails, triple top. They could roll over. All right, we'll see. I don't think so. I think it continues in this flag formation till they get a failed breakout, then they roll over. All right, so there's coin. Let's take a look at WBA. That's the next one for him. Okay, so this is the weekly chart. And again, on the daily chart, okay, you're in an uptrend, making higher lows and higher highs. WBA. On the daily chart, WBA is in a downtrend. Okay, I see no hope for WBA being bullish. All right, so WBA in a downtrend. Let's just see what the BOP is. Balance of power is like below 35, and it's been there for all of July. Right there. Okay, so I don't see anything bullish for WBA till they start to fill this gap. All right, they made a higher low here, but we still got a huge trend to break, which is right through there. So they need to break that trend before I get bullish. All right, are they capable of filling gap? Yeah, they are. We'll see where they want to go. They still haven't challenged this low, so I don't see anything bullish for WBA. Not for a while. Okay, that's a long downtrend. Not ready yet. Last one, VNQ. Okay, VNQ daily bullish. All right, that's a bull flag. I like that. Bullish outlook for that. Yes, I like it. All right, we're dealing with resistance right up here. Okay, got a big bowl. Probably going to put in a cup. All right, you also got a head and shoulders inverse right here. I see VNQ possibly making another move higher. I don't know what this move is, 70 to 88. So possible $18 move to the upside. On a measured move, let's just pull one off and measure from here to here. This is the possible. Doesn't mean it's exact. It's going to work out. But I just duplicate this. Put it up at the bottom there. So let's pull this down. So targets for VNQ, 98.08. All right. Problem is I see quite a bit of time below the line here. Okay, but the good news is there's a whole lot of time on the BOP over the midpoint. Okay, we need to see how we got divergence right there. See this high and we keep making lower lows. There's a low, lower than that. Then this is lower than that. Now we're turning around, start making higher highs. Okay, so got to get up and start making higher highs on the BOP over 14. Okay, got to get up over 14 so we can get that breakout to the upside. So they're dealing with a prior high right now for VNQ. And they got more resistance overhead. Look at all these lower highs here. So all-time high. Let's see what the all-time high is. So the all-time high for VNQ right there. On the monthly, they have put in a higher low there. You can see that on the weekly, they put in a higher low. Like to see this break out up over this. Got to get up over that right there, 94. So we'll see if they can get up over that. That's in an uptrend. I like that. This has potential to keep moving higher, VNQ. If you have any questions, go ahead and type them in there or private chat me. But there's all four of those: VNQ, WBA, SPY, and QQQ. All right, so I'm bullish on, not on SPY yet. I'm bullish on VNQ and coin. All right, I'm bullish on that and VNQ. SPY, not yet. All right. WBA got a lot of work to do on that one. That one's bearish. It's got a target of 10.2. I didn't read that. And 10.7. Yeah, he's already hit the target there. I see maybe even some more downside for WBA as long as they're underneath this trend line. All right, so I hope that answers your question. If it didn't, give me an idea what you're looking for. But those are the charts. I see more downside for WBA. I like coin to the upside, and I like VNQ to the upside. I think both have the potential to get up higher. We'll see. They got earnings coming out, and a lot of sectors are rolling over right now, and some are starting to pipe up. So we'll see what happens. All right, traders, that's it. Long 45-minute video for today with a lesson in there on how to trade the green erases red and the red erases green.